Welcome to Life with AI, Unlocking Your Third Brain. In these short episode series, we'll unravel the profound ways AI is reshaping our lives. Dive in with me as we uncover tools and insights that empower you to elevate your health, intellect, and help you work with maximum efficiency. I'm your host, Richard Fala.
Can you imagine telling AI the dish that you'd like to have tonight and AI will make it for you? Well, this might only be available right now on image generation products like DALL-E and Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, Firefly, and more. But soon, in the next few years, I can almost guarantee you this will be semi-possible. What I'm going to cover with you today are the application of AI in the kitchen, already happening, already changing lives. So I'll walk you through all the use cases that AI is changing the way people are working around their kitchen, be it in their home or be it at work. And I'll share with you an example where AI literally saved my evening. So why don't we get started? But before I do that, I would like to invite you to join our beta release for an awesome AI product that we're building. It's called Open Build AI. We are creating a studio where you can create your own recipes, not necessarily food recipes, any AI recipe of choice, and you can automate your AI tasks with a simple drag and drop interface. I would love to have you in our beta. Again, it's openbuild.ai, and the release will be soon. All right, so let's get started. Really excited about this. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and I believe many of you might do that already, but how AI really is penetrating that space. So actually, in many ways, I can start by just a quick presentation I put together with the aid of AI, that is, and Canva. You can do magic with these, and I probably should start or do a session on how you can create amazing presentations with AI. But one of the first applications of AI in the kitchen is the ability to generate recipes. Very basic. And the beauty about this is not just, doing a quick search, hey, can you give me a quick chicken parmesan recipe? You can actually ask for authentic recipe from a hometown of choice. It's amazing what you can get in terms of results, and you can even ask to prioritize by season. Now, many of you might say I could already do that by Googling things. That's true, but it can get really specific. And I'll give you an example. I was invited to this dinner last time where the people were Irish. I wanted to bring over something, so I asked ChatGPT what to bring, and it gave me suggestions based on the background of the invite, the household I'm going to, nationality, and the seasonality. It was really specific about that. So not only you can ask it to give you a recipe of choice, you can actually ask it to give you recipes for a specific occasion and a specific season. Furthermore, you can create weekly or monthly meal plans for grocery shoppings. So, for instance, if you know that every month you shop or you buy specific products, let's say you have olive oil and all your different vegetables and fruits, you can feed this into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can give you a meal plan based on those ingredients that you have. It's quite fantastic what it can do. So the first and absolute basic use of AI today is the ability to create recipes, weekly, daily, or just impromptu on the spot. The second application, which I really like, is planning a menu. Many of you might have, on occasions, dinners, inviting friends, family, and you're stuck. You don't know what to cook. You're quite unsure if you want to go all out and do, 5-course meal, or you just want to do a 1-course meal. Either way, you can plan your menus for that occasion, but you can also plan it for an entire week, an entire month based on your own diet preference. If you're gluten-free, if you're vegan, if you're keto, you can literally just craft an entire week's worth of meals based on your preference. And you can get really specific by saying, let's say I want to cap it at 2,000 calories per day. And I want to include these kinds of vegetables in there. So versus just following programs, and there are thousands of programs that are really good. This one will be custom built around your preferences on the spot using AI. This is a really powerful application for planning your menu. Now, of course, if you are a restaurant, that takes it a level up. You can legit just plan the menu of your restaurant by the aid of AI. Now, you might have an executive chef in the kitchen who's obviously bringing ideas to the table, but you can add the power of AI with the work of the chef to be able to craft the menu based on your location, based on your demographics, preferences, and the ingredients, whether you're sourcing local or not. So the second application is menu planning, and it's already being used in that aspect. Application number 3, and this one I used on last dinner that I hosted, is I wasn't sure what to pair with my dinner. And I did get some awesome recommendation on wine. So I had fish, I had duck, I had lobster soup, and a salad. And I relied heavily on AI. I asked ChatGPT, and then I switched back, by the way, to Bard. I use both hand in hand interchangeably. And I was able to get recommendations to be able to pair the wines with those dishes. So it's quite great what you can do. It can recommend wine, it can recommend whiskey, it can recommend just soft beverages for that matter. If you're hosting kids, it does not have to be a hard liquor. With that being said, food pairing and flavor profiles also are quite great. And many of you might be familiar with flavor profile if you're aiming for, this dark and sweet when it comes to wine, or earthy when it comes to, whiskey. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm not a drinker, but I think flavor profiles is something that chefs focus on a lot, and they create an entire theme around it. Now we have food image generation. I use this extensively to pre-visualize the dishes that I want to create. So if I want to visualize how a duck confit might look like, I might go to Midjourney and I can type that and I kind of visualize it, and I can put some kind of environment around it. And there are some products where you can upload your photo or an image of your dining room table, and you can literally just say, create that kind of dish on the table. I used Runway to do that. They created a short 4-second video, and it wasn't the best, but it was good. However, you can do that as well with any dish that you have in mind. Now, some of these dishes might not come out spot on, but the technology is getting there. You can, of course, take those photos and upload them to social media if you are trying to, create some posts or attach them to recipes with visuals. Certainly, that's one way to generate images. So food image generation is another application that can help you around the kitchen. Customized nutrition plans. Some people sign up to these things. I never did. I actually did once, and I ordered something, I think, from Fresh Direct. And I did get a meal plan. The first batch was left and got spoiled, so they sent me a replacement. But it wasn't exactly what I'm looking for, so it didn't work for me. But for those of you who actually use meal plans, you can do that with ChatGPT or Bard or third-party applications out there that could do it based on AI. Now, mind you, sometimes I share tools on this podcast, but not always, because most of the technology out there, not all, but most, are relying heavily on the existing pioneer like Bard, which is the Google engine with the limited API use as of today, OpenAI, which is ChatGPT's parent, and you have also a few others like Claude and few more. So with that being said, customized meal plans is one way you can use those engines to create them for you. So based on your preferences. I know I mentioned this on the first point, but your health metrics, if you want to do it based on a specific calorie intake, what are your goals? It can legit give you those recommendations. I highly encourage you, if you guys want to go today and just type in or test it out and say, okay, so I'm planning to just do 1900 calories per day. I would like to create a meal plan that's plant-based or meat-based, whatever is your favorite diet, and do it for 7 days straight. Now, there are some add-ons and things you might be able to kind of, take it further and ask for the ingredients for every recipe. And that connects to your shopping cart of choice. And just by hitting that kind of command to send those recipes or ingredients of the recipe to that third-party shopping, be it Amazon or other, you'll be getting all those ingredients over. So it's not necessarily ready meals, but more if you can plan it out, get the ingredients ordered, and make them yourself. And it's funny, if you look at this photo, this is AI generated, so the copy was just a little bit kind of random characters, but it's spot on. It's a nice photo. All right, another application is actually automation and efficiency on a commercial level. So what I mean by this is, I don't know if any of you has worked in the restaurant industry, but optimizing your kitchen space is a real concern, and it requires some engineering when you're opening your own restaurant. Now, with the help of not only OpenAI, where you can upload a photo and you can parse some dimensions, and then you can ask for some suggestions there on how you can optimize the space. There are lots of products commercially available to help you optimize the space using AI. So you can certainly do that to optimize your kitchen space, placements of the different equipments that you have, and so on. You can also use it to help manage the kitchen inventory and have it suggest restocking and predict future needs as well. This is already something that Amazon has done with some pilot programs where they could pre-order things for your commercial kitchen before you even run out of it. And you'll see more of these applications popping out using AI. So if you imagine your POS of choice where you're feeding all, your inventory, you're already, selling per day, let's say 20 dishes of linguine alla vongole, which is linguine clam sauce. And immediately the system predicts that you're going to need more based on specific usage in the past. So we call this predictive analytics in marketing, but in the kitchen, you can call it predictive usage of your stock. Quite an extensive area and really interesting where this headed from a restaurant efficiency perspective. Then you have the ability for you to create educational tools. Now, there are many programs out there that you can leverage for learning how to cook, courses you can take. I think Kitsch.com, I believe, is a place. It's like a marketplace and video tutorials for chefs to exchange ideas and recipes and teach how to cook. You also have Masterclass that brings famous chefs to teach you how to cook. But with the aid of AI, you can create your own educational program. Now, given you need some background experience, but you can develop that course, that downloadable, that program, and even craft your own technique and communicate your techniques with the aid of AI. So you become an influencer in that space. It doesn't matter if you're an influencer with 1,000 or 10,000, but at least by having that aid, the helper, writing some of the content, translating your ideas and techniques into readable text that could be ingested by people, literally can help you craft your educational program as a chef. You can also do training programs. I've seen people create full-on courses by the use of AI. There's nothing wrong with this. Although AI is crafting the content, but you as an educator, you always add your twist to it, right? So it just helps you more efficient. It takes your idea to create a course and a program from 0 to 1, let's say in a matter of weeks, versus having to spend month and month on this. Couple more applications that I'm going to suggest before I show you an example is food waste reduction. For instance, you can tell ChatGPT, I already have this leftover. Now that the holidays are coming up, many of you will have that. What can I do with leftover turkey? It's going to give you some suggestions. Okay, I have turkey, I have some stuffings, sweet potatoes left. Can you recommend some creative ideas for that way? And it can actually give you ideas how to repurpose that food. Another thing that I really love, and I'll show you the example of, is starting from scratch. You can tell ChatGPT to create a recipe based on existing ingredients. Quite fantastic. I really love this application and I've been using it a lot. You also have market research that you can do. I mean, again, coming back to the commercial example, if you are building your kitchen and you have your menu, you need to do your market research, where to source the products, your local trends, what your competitors are doing. And there are so many plugins in ChatGPT you can install that helps you kind of do your own research and do competitive analysis to see who are competing against you in the area. Bard does a good job in getting you like local search. You can also get their menus uploaded and analyze their menus, what kind of ingredients they use. And you can even ask for, I'm estimating, let's say I'm selling those 5 types of dishes and I'm estimating to have X amount of traffic through the door based on a previous search that I did. What do you estimate I'm going to need in terms of inventory? I love this. This is great. Market research and product development in the restaurant industry will be heavily reliant on AI. Last but not least, and this is already happening, you can have augmented reality with experiences. And I mentioned Kitsch as one of them. I believe they had some experimental ideas with using virtual glasses with this. But soon enough, you'll see, and Facebook has done a good job with their new glasses release, where you can overlay your glasses and ask questions directly, and you can visualize the dish on the glass. You can get the ingredients listed. It can even give you measurements on the things you have on hand. This is an area, if you are a geek and you have your 3D glasses, or if you're planning to buy some VR set, I think you'll be able to leverage it in that capacity. So these are some of the applications that are out there. I would like to switch a little bit to an example of how I used it in a way that it literally just kind of saved my life. So I was making chocolate bars a few days ago. I had a mold, and the mold had a specific dimension. And I only had few ingredients. I had cacao butter, cacao powder, sugar, dry milk, heavy liquid cream, and I asked for a recipe. And sure enough, it gave me a recipe for a chocolate bar. Now the preparation of the chocolate bar and all the actual ingredients weren't tailored for my mold. The mold was a little bit bigger than the recipe suggestions. So of course I went ahead, I said, is this enough for the mold? And then it gave me the answer that based on her calculation, on the calculations of AI, I called it her, it did give me some ideas that is going to be a little bit short. I asked it to modify, and fair enough, it did that for me. Now during my preparation, I did really good until the moment where I didn't know if I need to use soft sugar or granulated or powder. So it gave me ideas that I can grind the granulated sugar to get to the end result. That's another way it saved me at that point. And then I asked a few things. Finally, I made another mistake where I overheated the chocolate. And then when I asked, I get the result that you can add a little bit of heavy cream and gently just kind of fold it to get it back into the proper consistency. I mean, guys, I got successful chocolate bars out of this, but you can literally see how this has helped me in the sense of me deep in the cooking, making the mistakes. I wasn't sure of the ingredients. I've used Google a lot in the past, where I would search for the different quantities and the formulas, and I would spend enormous amount of time trying to calculate a cup to a cup and a half and the measurements from grams to all of these. This will save you so much time by simply asking it to do the conversions for you on the spot. This is just the tip of the iceberg of how you can use it, and I really feel like the application of AI in the kitchen is going to be immense. So this is it. I know AI is a big part of our lives in every different aspect, and this is what these are about. I do them to bring examples of how everybody in this day and age is leveraging AI to get better at pretty much every aspect of their lives. If you're liking the content, please share, like, or subscribe. It helps me understand if you're gauging, if you're liking the content, and how to improve. And if you would like the content of these presentations, I'll try to make it available in the description of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Thank you.